Hello and welcome to another episode of Food is Fuck. My name is Zeke and Simone is behind the camera as usual, and today we are cooking lazy ice cream cake. So today we are making lazy ice cream cake, and the lazy part just basically means that you're not gonna actually cook anything, right? So we're just gonna be buying some things from a store, putting them together, and then you can totally lie about that you made the whole thing from scratch. Who's gonna know? All right, so the basic concept for this is the same. So as long as you follow the basic concept, you should be okay. So what you do need is some kind of cake, right? So I'm gonna be using this pan here, and that's usually a good size. Just make sure that you have cake to fit this. So usually if you buy a pound cake from somewhere, it's a pretty good fit for this. But today I have these honey castella cakes. So I have 3 of those because they're on the small-ish side. So I'm gonna be using 3. You will also need to have some ice cream. So you can get whatever ice cream you like. I'll be showing you the ice cream that we'll be using later. I think I have a Ben & Jerry's Half Baked, which is always a superb flavor. And then I have a matcha green tea ice cream. And that's what I'm gonna be using, right? So ice cream, pound cake, or whatever cake that you like. That's really the basics. Everything else that I'm gonna talk about here is just extras, right? All right, so extra, totally unnecessary stuff that you can or don't have to include is I'm gonna be adding some chocolate. So what do we have here? We have Cadbury mixed nuts. So I'm gonna be using this mini Oreos. Hello Panda by Meiji, and the only reason that I'm putting this on is this is purely nostalgia for me, right? I grew up eating this stuff as a little boy, and I just love it. It makes me happy, right? So I'm putting this on my ice cream cake. And the last thing, but definitely not the least, is if you guys haven't watched the 2-ingredient fudge episode, make sure that you do. I'll probably put up the card up here somewhere, or maybe I'll put it at the end of the video, but the link is also gonna be in the description. But we're also gonna be making our fudge. That's pretty much it. So let's get to it. Okay, first things first, I'm going to line up this pan with some cling film or plastic wrap or whatever you call it, wherever you are in the world. Just make sure that it gets to the side. This is just to make sure that everything comes up easier later. Not rocket science here. I'm just gonna open up my cakes. Man, those cakes are so soft. I love these cakes. Okay, so the idea is, remember, usually you should get like a pound cake that is just a rectangle that's gonna fit in here. But as I said, I'm using these cakes because I really like them. So I'm thinking they should fit in just about this way if we tidy them just a bit, right? I'm just gonna take, I think, a small bit of each end like so, and a sliver from each side, and I think this should fit, and there we go, perfect, right? So I'm just gonna do that to the other 2. We are going to layer this, so I think this is gonna come up to here, and we're also gonna be adding the ice cream and some stuff, so it will eventually rise up, but I think we're gonna make 2 layers, right? So what that means is I'm gonna cut this twice. So put it on the side, and try to get even cuts. So I'm gonna go like this and do another one. Right, so we're gonna have 2 layers to each cake here. So I'm gonna start by putting one of the layers. So let's flip these upside down like this. So I'm gonna start by the bottom layer. So I'm gonna take my cakes, put them down, put it down, and I have some space here. I'm gonna use the cutoffs that we got from the cakes. Okay, now we're gonna put a layer of ice cream.
What's better? Haagen-Dazs or this one?
Oh, dude, you're gonna start a war online with this stuff. Look, the public perception is Haagen-Dazs is more fancy and everything. Honestly, I like Ben & Jerry's, man. They have wacky, crazy flavors, and I like the Ben & Jerry's. All right, so this is, it's pretty hard at the moment. So we're gonna leave it up here for 2 minutes. We'll be back in 2 minutes. All right, so the ice cream is soft enough to handle now. And yes, I'm gonna use this oversized large spoon because I don't have an ice cream scooper. I'm sorry, Mama. Nice scoop. Okay, so we just smoothed out the ice cream, right? Try to make it as even as you possibly can over your bottom layer of cake with the mini Oreos right now. So let's do that. You know, I've actually never had a mini Oreo before. This is actually legit my first. Ooh, they're mini! It's a mini Oreo. Pretty good. All right, so I think I'm gonna go for an even line here instead of just a chaotic flip. All right, Oreos are in. I don't know, should we add the chocolate or should we add let's add another layer of the cake first, right? 2, 3, and use the leftover bits that we cut from the sides. And before we do anything else, because remember we've been working on this for a while and it's a hot day and we closed the window. So I'm gonna put this for a freezer for about 3-4 minutes, just to get all the ice cream and stuff not to start melting. So it's been in the freezer for a while, so it's set. And now we're gonna continue with the next layer. So I'm using matcha green tea, which should be nice. So let's see. Whoa.
That's a lot of ice cream.
That is a lot of ice cream. But who cares? I never said that this is a healthy dish. All right, so same thing. Try to flatten it and even it out. I don't even know, like, we already put a whole tub of Ben & Jerry's in here. So, like, how many calories was that? This is just pure indulgence, right? This is not a dish or a meal that you say, how many calories is in there? Just eat the damn thing and enjoy it, okay? Okay, I think I'm happy with this. Now, for the last layer of absolute ridiculous extra calories for no good reason, is we're gonna be adding the chocolate. So same thing again, right? So 1, 2, 3, 2. Great. So the rest of the cake goes on. This is not quite finished yet. So to make this super epic, what we're gonna do is we're gonna put this in the freezer for about half an hour to an hour to set and hold itself. And just, I don't know, I would say 5 minutes before it comes out, we're gonna make our fudge. And because if you remember, the fudge is actually very quick to make. And that's pretty much it. And then we're gonna layer it up with fudge and it should be done. So I'm just very lightly wrapping this here, like so. And that's it. I'm gonna put this in the freezer for about, I don't know, I would say 45 minutes. It's almost time to take the cake out of the freezer, so I'm gonna start working on my fudge now. So if you wanna see how we made this fudge, there's a video that we actually made before about this fudge. So I'll put up the, I don't know, the link somewhere up here. And my phone is ringing, so yeah. However, I will just add, I want this fudge to be a little bit runnier than normal. So what I'm gonna do is I am not going to add 400 grams of chocolate. I'm only adding the 300 grams of the chocolate chip bag, and that's it. So this fudge is actually very, very easy to make. You just put the chocolate chips with a few knobs of butter into the microwave at 10-second bursts. So 10 seconds, take it out and you stir it, and then you put it in. 10 seconds, you take it out and you stir it, right? Until the chocolate completely melts. and then you add your condensed milk, and that's it. You just have fudge. Here is the contraption. It looks pretty good, I have to say. I took it out of the pan, and I'm just smoothing out the sides. So I'm bringing up the matcha ice cream all the way up to the top layer of cake here. All right, so we made our fudge, and we're gonna try to somehow lather it on there. So I'm gonna try first to go in the top layer here. Oh, look at that. I'll just try to get it to fall. Now, the beautiful thing about this fudge is that it should set pretty quick. So I'm actually gonna put this in the freezer for just 2 minutes because fudge is hot and I don't want to melt the ice cream. All right, last step. I'm just gonna layer the rest of the fudge and try to the best of my abilities to get it to go down the sides. Oh, that looks so good. All right, so ice cream is melting. So this goes back in the fridge real quick. All right, so it's out of the freezer. Now, I know that this doesn't look like the prettiest of desserts here, but the taste department, I am absolutely confident in.
What you're putting?
I'm putting the Panda bears, man. This is from my childhood. This makes me happy when I see it. Now this is an oversized slice, I know, but oh man. All right, so it is taste time, and I have Nori with me today. Woohoo! Of course, Simone gets every opportunity that he can to step off camera. Not that I'm complaining. I do get to be with Nori. So let's dig in. Nori, taste test.
Okay.
You like sweets, right?
Yeah, I love first.
All right.
Sweets.
Nori has a big sweet tooth thing going on. Oh, I forgot about the mini Oreos. I didn't get a mini Oreo. The crunchiness is the mini Oreos. That's why I remember. That's actually pretty good. So what have we learned today? The Ben & Jerry's ice cream is much better for not melting in 2-3 seconds if it's exposed on a hot day. So I recommend you try it with the Ben & Jerry's ice cream. The other matcha ice cream that we got is great. I mean, it tastes fine, but it just it wouldn't hold itself in the heat, right? So that's why we ended up with all this mess today. So thank you guys for watching once again. I've been Zeke from Food as Fuck. Simone is behind the camera this time, not as usual.
Yeah.
And Nori is here today, and we'll see you guys in the next episode. SHA POW! What? I thought you were gonna come and do it again.